Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Jeff Brady.
I'm Sarah Lucero. It is a culture clash between history and inclusivity. So far, we know of 5 of the 11 people sitting on City Council are in favor of relocating the Confederate monument that has stood in Travis Park for 118 years. One
more vote would tip the balance on this controversial issue, and tonight another member of council is going public in the debate. Eyewitness News reporter Phil Anaya is live for us with an exclusive that you'll see only on KENS 5. Phil?
Yeah, well, Jeff and Sarah, I had the chance to sit down earlier today with District 3 Councilwoman Rebecca Viagran, and now she too would like to see this monument relocated somewhere else like a museum. Now, if you just look at the numbers, that means, like you said, there's enough support to have the statue relocated, and that's not to say that there could be growing support in the coming days and weeks.
We cannot be continuing to put something out there that is, hiding really an ideology of hatred behind heritage. So that's why I do believe that it should be moved.
Councilwoman Rebecca Viagran says she's been thinking about the possible relocation of this Confederate monument ever since her colleagues Roberto Trevino and Cruz Shaw introduced the proposal about a month ago.
We're not trying to erase history. We're trying to put it in the correct environment and context.
She said her decision was solidified over the last couple of weeks with racial tensions increasing across the country. She even told us about recent threats made against members of City Council because of this controversial issue. Staff from both the offices of Councilman Shaw and Trevino told Eyewitness News they've received threatening language and have notified police.
Now that you've publicly come out for the relocation of the statue, are you concerned about your safety?
Oh, sure, absolutely. When you have people walking, chanting certain things and coming in to official meetings with assault rifles and guns, yes, you will be concerned about that.
Those armed people the councilwoman is talking about are the militia members seen just last week outside council chambers. The group said they were there as security for people opposed to the relocation of the monument who claim they've had their lives threatened. Viagran believes it's more of an intimidation factor.
When you have people, armed guards, standing in front of the door that you're supposed to go walk into to make your opinion heard one way or another, I think that is an intimidation tactic and not one that we need in front of our city council chambers.
And now with growing support in favor of relocation, the next big question could be, where might the Confederate monument end up?
How can people get involved as far as the relocation process?
That's a conversation that we'll have to have on the dais when we do have that conversation or whenever the vote is going to happen. I think that's a very fair question, and I think it would be a good conversation to have.
Now, staff members from the offices of council members Brockhouse, Pelaez, Gonzalez, and Perry all told us that they've yet to make a decision. They're still getting input and continuing dialogue with constituents. And in a statement issued last week, Mayor Ron Ehrenberg said, in part, "I will work with my colleagues to ensure that symbols of the Confederacy are placed in a proper context." Reporting live tonight, Phil Anaya, KENS 5 Eyewitness News.
When protesters take to the streets like they did here recently, who pays the cost of police protection and traffic control? A review of the city's free speech ordinance is underway to answer these important questions. Eyewitness News reporter Sue Kalberg looks at what's at stake.
On the street! On the street! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now!
San Antonio police won't comment on the cost related to the recent protests, saying exact numbers are a tactical matter they won't reveal for safety's sake.
We want a community that is open and accessible to all.
District 1 Rep. Roberto Trevino has asked for the city's free speech ordinance to be updated.
We want to fix the ambiguity. That's number one.
Trevino says there are too many variables, and community organizers agree.
We are the worst in the restrictive policies for protesting and marching.
Advocates say information about permits isn't posted online, the rules aren't applied uniformly, and they say applications shouldn't be administered by police.
We're willing to talk, we're willing to be honest with one another, and I think in the end we'll come out better for it.
Trevino says the city attorney's office is gathering public input now, and he has faith in the process.
We want San Antonio to be a leader in the democratic process.
Trevino says there's no rush to complete the review. He says he wants the changes to the ordinance to stand the test of time.
That we would just hope that calmer minds will prevail.
Sue Kalberg, KENS 5 Eyewitness News.